check system. So mao na ang mga guard before ka mo sulod sa isa ka establishment, gina-check na nila ang inyong bag or ikaw mismo ang ilang i-check kay base og unsay naa sa imuha, kina-control nila ang mga dili angay nga mosulod dito sa ilang ginabantayan. The most practical and generally accepted system of personnel identification is the use of identification cards, badges of passes. Generally speaking, this system designates when and where and how identification cards should be displayed, and to when this helps security personnel eliminated the risk of allowing to access of unauthorized personnel within the establishment. So, number 1, two types of personnel identification: personnel recognition or familiarity of the person's characteristics. Number A, personnel recognition, and letter B, artificial recognition. Identification cards, passes, passports, etc. O mo nilang ginatan-aw. So number 1, ginatan-aw nila ang i-familiar nilang naong sa tao. Then number 2 is katong mga identification cards, driver's license, mga IDs, passports, etc. Number 2 is use of pass system. Letter A, single pass system. The badge or pass code for authorization to enter specific areas is issued to an employee who keeps it in his possession and until his authorization is terminates. Pass exchange system. An exchange takes place of the entrance of each controlled area. Upon leaving, the personnel surrenders his badge or passes and receive back his basic identification. So, ano pass exchange system? Kanang sulod ka sa mga subdivision, di ba? Kung dili ka taga diha, ibilin imong ID, din tagaan ka nila og bali pang-claim nimo inigbalik mo nga mo to imong i-claim, ihatag mo pagbalik nimo mo to imong ihatag, then ibalik na to sa imo ato imong identification card ni imong gibilin. Then letter C, multiple pass system. This provides an extreme measures of security by requiring that an exchange take place at the entrance of each restricted area. Number 3, badge and pass control. The system should have a complete record of all badges and identification cards issued, stern, multilayered or lost by serial numbers and cruise index alphabetically. So gina-check na ninyo yung mga ginapagawas na mga identification cards sa inyong buildings kung kisa to yung nagagunit ana. The supervisor from time to time for its accuracy and authenticity should check the list. Passes and badges reported lost should be validated and security at entrance be informed through conspicuous posting. F, visitors movement controls. Security should establish proper methods of establishing the authority for admission of visitors as well as limitations theory. These security measures would depend on the sensibility of the installations, but could include the following. Visitors logbook. All visitors to any facility should be required to identify themselves and should be given a visitor's ID by the security. Visitors logbook should be filled up with the name of visitors, nature, and duration of visit. So, kanang dili ka taga diha, ginalagbok, pasulat ka sa logbook og pangalan, complete name, address, cellphone number, may na basic information nimo. Then taking a photograph should also be considered. Extreme caution must be exercised in areas where classified information is displayed to preclude unauthorized taking of picture of the installation. If a visitor has a camera and it is prohibited to take picture, said camera should be left in the care of security with corresponding receipt. So, kung inigsulod dito kanang bawal ang camera, na ikaw nagdala ka camera, ibilin na siya sa guard kay basin og imo atong pamicturan tong mga important matters sa sulod, di imong madala sa gawas nya bawal na siya. Maong ipabili na sa guard, then isulat ito resibo, tagaan kag resibo para inig balik mo ito mihatag, di makuha to ni mong camera. Number 3, escort. If possible, visitors should be escorted by the security to monitor their activity within the establishment and guide them where to go. So, kung kailangan gyud nga i-escortan ka og isa ka gwardiya, then buhaton na sa mga gwardiya kay para mabantayan ka kung unsay mo pang buhaton dito sa sulod, unsay mo mga pang asa ka maadto, unsay mong buhaton, ma-monitor ka sa gwardiya tungod kay escortan ka. Number 4, visitor entrances. Separate access for visitors and employees of the establishment should be provided. Number 5, time traveled. If there is a long delay or time lapse between the departure and arrival, the visitors may be required to show cause for delay. So, for example, imong gibutang dito sa logbook is 1 hour lang imong duration dito. Taman nga imong pagbisita niya. Then nalapas ka og 2 hours o 1 hour. Imbis launa ka dapat mo gawas, naabot ka galas dos. Inigawas nimo dapat na kay ikapakita sa guard kung nganong na-delay imong paggawas, na kay ikapakita nga rason o na kay ikarason nganong delay ka nga nigawas. Nga imong duration sa pag-visit is only 1 hour lang, then abot kag 2 hours. Then access list, record of predetermined visitors. Number letter G, package movement control. Every facility must establish a system for the control of package entering or leaving the premises. However, desirable it might seem it is simply unrealistic to suppose that a blanket rule forbidding package either in or out would be workable. Such a rule would be damaging to the employee morale and in many cases would actually work against the efficient operation in the facility. Therefore, since the transporting of packages through the portals is a fact of life, they must be dealt with in order to prevent theft and misappropriation of company properties. Thus, no package shall be authorized to be brought inside the industrial installation, offices, and work area without proper authority. This basis precept help reduce if not eliminate pilferage, industrial espionage or sabotage. So ginabawal lang kanang magpahatod ka sa imong package sa imong office. Din wala kay tarong nga kana acceptance gani nga dito nimo gidala ay ipadala, dito nimo i-receive. Bawal na siya kay basin og ang ginalikayan na sa mga establishment kay basin og katong nag-deliver sa imong package nga makasulod sa sulod is nag-spy siya or nag-espionage, nagapaniid or naga-tan-aw sa mga butang dito or mga pwede niya nga makuha nga mga information, mao na ginalikayanan nila. Number 2, outgoing package carried by personnel should be closely inspected and those in vehicles should also be checked as many pilfered items are hidden in the surface of the vehicles leaving the compound. So, kung naapoy ka ng package nga ipagawas gikan sa inyo ang sulod, then i-check pod na kay basin og kanang naay ginapalaman dito nga walay labot sa ipagawas, then ilarang gitago sa gipalaman sa ilahang karton para maapil og gawas. Then kana mga sakyanan nga mo gawas or mosulod or what is say mo gawas, gina-check also gina-check po na kay basin og na sila ginakarga nga walay labot or unsa ilang gipamutang dito susulod silang sakyanan nga illegal nga paggawas nila sa items. Kailangan na siya i-check. Then number 3, any personnel or visitor entering the installation with a package should deposit the same to the security and in return receives a number tag which he or she will use in claiming his or her package upon departing. So, kung naay visitor nga mosulod sa inyohang establishment nga naidala package, kinahanglan niya nga ibutang dito sa security og magkuha siya og kanang kuntay, di ba natin ginakuan kanang bag, di ba pareha sa mall nga imong bag dapat ibilin sa katong na sila baggage area, then tagaan kag number, then pag balik nimo ihatag nimo imong number para ma-claim nimo ang imong package or kato imong backpack. Mo na pasabot sa number 3. Letter H, control of vehicle in the installation. Vehicular traffic within the boundaries of any facility must be carefully controlled for safety as well as to control the transporting of pilfered goods from the premises. Thus, privately owned vehicle of personnel or visitor should be registered and are subject to the identification and admittance procedure. So mao na, di ba sa RMC natay ginatawag kung nakay vehicle or motorcycle, kinahanglan ka magkuha og kanang gate pass or para ma-register ang imong unit dito sa sulod. Nana sila record nga kani nga unit is mao ni tag-iya. Kani nga sakyanan ay siya ay tag-iya ni. Nay naka-registered na sa sulod mismo sa establishment. Nanay record ang establishment sa ibuang unit. And number 2, vehicles should be subjected for search at the entrance and exit of the installation. So, bago mo sulod, i-check ang sakyanan. Then, bago mo gawas, i-check pod. Basinog na ay, bago mo sulod, i-check. Kaya basinog na ay, unsay na dito, na ay, bomba ba karon. Or, paggawas, i-check. Kaya basinog na sila gikuha sa sulod, nga unauthorized. Dili autorisado nga gikuha. Then number 3, all visitors with vehicle should provide the security as to the complete details of their duration to stay, persons to be visited, and other information. All vehicles of visitors should be given a sign or sticker to be placed on the windshield. So mao ni kung ganiya ginaingon nga dapat na kay gate pass nga gikan sa establishment, then ibutang nimo kung sakyanan manggaling, kung four wheels, ibutang nimo sa imong windshield para makita dayon sa pagsulod pala nimo sa may gate, makita na sa guard nga ay kani nga unit is rehistrado diri sa establishment. Then number 5, traffic warning sign should be installed at entrances in order to guide the visitors in their destinations, as well to provide them with the necessary safety precaution while they are inside the installation. So isip isa ka establishment, entrance palandahan sa may gate na nakabutang left turn or parking area, butangan nimo og sign sa left side, more parking area left side, or exit na mga signs kung asa padulong ang mga visitors kay dili man sila swito diya nga lugar. Then number 6, security personnel must constantly supervise parking areas and make frequent spots searches of vehicles found there. So as security personnel, dapat gina-check pod nimo always ang parking lot kay basin og nagkarambulan na dito, wala na tarong og parking ang mga sakyanan. So ginatanaw po na nimo kay wa nay kaparkingan ng uban kung nagkarambulan na. Sunod, letter I, building access control. At any physical barrier, a security system must possess the ability to distinguish among authorized persons, unauthorized visitors, and other unauthorized persons. This is to assist the security personnel protect sensitive and information within the installation. Appropriate warning signs should be posted at the building perimeters. Special restricted entry facility to public access should be provided. This will be dependent on the degree of security needed for protection of property, security, and other processes within the building. A clear-cut policy on the access control should be disseminated to all personnel of the installation. So sa building access control, so kana sa mga restricted areas dapat naa na siya mga signs nga di ba makakita ta sa uban establishment nga kanang authorized person only. So ang mga unauthorized person bawal gyud na mosulod ra. Dapat kung kana nga it means authorized person only, it means kana nga area is pangkatulan ng pang-employees, way labot ang mga visitors, or kanang ginaprotektahan na sa establishment kana nga areas dira bantog authorized person only lang ang nakabutang. Then letter J, personnel security investigation. It is an inquiry into the character, reputation, discretion, and loyalty of individual in order to determine a person's suitability to be given security clearance. Number 1, types of personal security investigation or PSI. National Agency Check or NAC. This is an investigation of an individual made upon the basis of written information supplied by him in response to official inquiry and be referenced to appropriate national agencies. It is implied to check of the files and records of national agencies. The national agencies check under this type of investigation are the following: National Intelligence Coordinating Agency or NICA, National Bureau of Investigation (NBI), ISAAFP or J2 Division, CIDG, PNP Camp, Crame, etc. Letter B, local agency check or lack. This type of investigation consists of the first type plus written inquiries sent to appropriate local government agencies, former employees, references, and schools listed by the persons under investigation. The local agencies normally check, besides the past employment, schools, and references, are the following. Number 1, place of the locality where the individual is a resident. Mayor, police, or fiscal or judge of the locality where the individual is resident. So mao nang uban na. Excuse me. Kinahanglan nga magkuha ka og barangay clearance kung asa ka nakapuyo, and mayor's permit or police clearance, fiscal wala kay kaso. Then letter K, background investigation. This is more comprehensive investigation than the NAC and LAC. A thorough and complete investigation of all of some the circumstances of aspects of a person's life and conducted. Number 1, types of BI. It may either be a complete CBI or a partial background investigation or PBI. Letter A, complete background investigation, consists of the investigation of the background of a person, particularly all the circumstances of his personal life. CBI consists of the investigation of the background of a person. So kung sa kampana CI is kanang gina-check ang imuhang background or imuhang kung unsa ka nga pagkatao sa inyong barangay, kung unsay kuan sa imong taga mga silingan, kung unsay masulti sa imong mga neighbors, kung unsa ka nga pagkatao dito. Letter B, partial background investigation, consists of the investigation of the background of an individual but limited only to some of the circumstances of his personal life which are deemed pertinent to the investigation. Normally, the request for the investigation will indicate the specific personal circumstances to be covered. This type of BI is also used to further develop questionable information contained in another investigation report. BI. Number 2, factors considered in background investigations. Loyalty, faithful, allegiance to the country's government and its duly constituted authority. So ginatanaw nilang imong pagka-loyalty, imong pagka-loyal, faithful. Kung faithful ba kasi mo faithful ba kang nga pagkatao. Then integrity, uprightness in character, soundness of moral principles, freedom from moral delinquencies, and more simply stated, honesty. So na ba kay integridad nga pagkatao, na kay integrity. Discretion, the ability to tendency to act or decisions with prudence, the habit of wise judgment, or simply stated good judgment. So discretion meant kanang na ba kay sakto nga pangunauna nga mo decision or mo kanang kabalo ba ka mo judge kung unsay buhaton. Kailangan man gud na is kanang kabalo ka mo timbang sa sitwasyon. Man discretion kung kabalo ka mo judge kung unsay tama or unsay mali, kay basin mo pataka ra ka og decision nga dili mao nang ginatanaw nila kung naa ba kay kakayahan nga mo judge or mo unsay tawag ganin discretion kanang mo judge lagi, you judge. Number 4, moral, distinctive identifying qualities which are as an index to the essential or intrinsic